Yoongi. Yes, this guy right here. Him. Yes, I'm sure you all know who he is. The truth of the matter is while I was working on this new series, I knew that there was one thing that I couldn't do. There's no way that I could do some sort of documentary style going over of his life. You all know him way better than I do. That is the truth. I cannot tell you something that you do not already know. So my idea was, what can I tell you about him that you wouldn't know? And I would say is what I have noticed that I personally feel about Yoongi, or Augusty, or Suga. The truth of the matter is that there has been some things over the last little bit that I have started to notice. I hate to burst some people's bubbles, but I have been going on a bit of a tear when it comes to Augusty and all the music, and I've been kind of working on a bunch of other stuff, such as album reviews for members of BTS and BTS's music in general. And the interesting thing was, as I started to go through Yoongi's music, I noticed as to why, for me personally, I have become so attached to his music. Although, I have to admit, I'm not somebody that generally likes rap or hip-hop very much in general. When it's good, but most of the time I switch it off. Except for this. So, welcome to the first of the series, Highlighted Artists, and today, for the first time, I am covering Yoongi. That is correct. So we're going to cover a few songs from ones that I know that he had a heavy hand or just wrote the whole thing. And like I said, I feel like one thing that I want to say before we start is absolutely this is going to be more of a deep dive more on the lyrics rather than the musicianship. We've done a lot about musicianship, especially with BTS. So these to me is one of the things that I love most about his music, and that is the fact that one, he's very particular, and I really like the fact that he doesn't just write one thing, one style. He's not afraid to really delve in and put the punctuation and make it the most emotionally impactful when it's necessary. And sometimes that can be really gritty. So I'm going to be giving a little bit of a warning. We will be covering some sensitive topics like self-harm and going further than that. If you want to skip that, just skip the last song, which is The Last. If you know, you know. This is some of the best lyric writing that I found, personally, since I started listening to him.
So time is here, now right and go. I know you know anything there's no. So time is here, now right and go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
사랑이라는 말 어쩌면 순간의 감정의 날 조건이 붙진 않은 무얼 사랑하는가 충분히 사랑받지 못한 너희 그래서 무엇보다 신중한 타입 나는 말에 원해 진중한 살 알잖아 영원은 못했어 잔잔한 파도에도 힘없이 쉽게 무너져 상실은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려운 게 슬픈 거야 두려운 게 슬픈 거야 So far away you're gone
I will say though, he does have a nice singing voice.
Getting far away Too far away you're gone I know I have to know, yeah
So time is here, now right and go. I know you know anything there's no. So time is here, now right and go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
당신은 무엇 때문에 슬픈 걸까 사실은 두려움이 큰 거잖아 함께 미래 그리던 우리는 없고 싸운 모든 성들을 부셔버린 것은 우린걸 승패가 없는 게임이라지만 난 언제나 게임 루저 모든 걸 주겠다던 우린 모든 것을 부셔 그리고 떠나지 사랑이던 사람이든 모두가 이기적이기 때문이야 So far away you're gone Getting far away
I love the Johnny Cash guitar.
Too far away you're gone I know I have to know yeah.
So tell me, yeah, not frightened, go. I know you know anything, just know. So tell me, yeah, not frightened, go. Nobody doesn't know anymore.
떠가는 떠가는 사랑의 뜻은 과연 무엇일까 수많은 사람 스쳐간 사랑은 사랑으로 완벽할까 그래 말야 이타적인 게 어쩌면 되려 이기적이네 널 위해 한다는 말은 곧 내 욕심이기에 욕심을 버리면 행복해지고 채우지 못한 반쪽짜리 허상 삶은 저항과 복종 사이의 싸움이라는데 내가 보기에는 외로움들과의 싸움이네 눈물이 터져 나오면 그대 울어도 돼 당신은 사랑받기에도 이미 충분한데
So tell me, yeah, not frightened, go. I know you know anything, just know. So tell me, yeah, not frightened, go. Nobody doesn't know anymore. Yeah.
대부분 다 뭐 사람들한테 전달하고 싶은 이야기도 있지만 나 자신한테 이야기를 하는 것처럼 들린다라는 이야기를 많이 들었거든요. 사실이기도 하고요. 그때 당시에 코로나로 여러 가지 것들을 할 수 없을 때 굉장히 모든 것을 잃어버렸다라고 생각을 했을 때 썼던 곡이기 때문에 나 자신한테 되게 해주고 싶었던 이야기였습니다.
Okay, so one of the things that I want to actually highlight specifically about the lyrics that I think really come through for me is there's a couple of themes right here. The talking of dread and daunting pops up a couple times. And I think that sometimes when we look at lyrics, we look at just kind of everything by base value and kind of what's being said right at the top. And I love the fact that he uses words like dread and daunting, because honestly it's a little bit more it's deep. So here's a couple of definitions for daunting. Seemingly difficult to deal with in anticipation, and the other one is making someone feel intimidated or apprehensive. And I think that that's a very interesting thing. Then for dread, we got a couple here. That is anticipation with great apprehension of fear, great fear of or apprehension. The thought of returning to New Jersey filled her with dread. A person with, he was stricken with dread disease and died. Greatly feared or dreadful. And that is one thing that I have to say. It's not it's not used in music, and I think that that's something that I find to be extremely poetic. And obviously, when it comes to actual like painting a picture with words, this specific part right here specifically actually also really hits me. Forever is something like a sandcastle, you know? It comes crumbling down with the calmest of waves. And I think that it's interesting because he didn't use the word with, tumultuous waves. It's not the super extreme of waves. It's the calmest of waves. And to me, I think that that's actually something that I find to be particularly interesting. And this spot right here, they say there is always winners or losers in this game, but I'm always the loser. And I know that at the end he says that he kind of wrote this because he felt like that he was losing everything. And the interesting thing is like, I don't know if that this is just a one-time thing. I think a lot of times, especially with Yoongi, what I found is that he holds on to a lot of stuff. And I think this is probably something that he was probably feeling for a while. So I think that that's also really interesting. And then right here, and then we leave because both love and people are selfish. And then it says, and then he says right here, right afterwards, so goes the person, so goes the love. What comes at the end of love? Endless people, a love that has passed by. Is love wholly perfect on its own? Selfishness or selflessness can actually be selfish too. See, his way of thinking is just interesting, because I think even when he's talking about like selflessness, you think to yourself like, oh, well, that's the whole idea, is that you're not being selfish. But sometimes people can do that stuff for the fact that it is actually pretty much for self-serving purposes. And this is the things that I like about him. He's not thinking just very plain Jane kind of music. So for So Far Away, the thing that I really, really like about the writing on this is, first and foremost, the maturity and growth of realizing that life is not what you expect. But I also really like the feeling of realizing that even if dreams can be a little bit silly, or if they can feel a little bit unobtainable, that it's still important to have. And there's this great duality that he has when he talks about these lyrics. And I think that that's what really, really strikes me, is that he has a good way of writing duality, along with making things that are common feel extra special. And this song to me really, really highlights that. With lyrics like, if I have a dream that flies away, then he has lines like this: may all of your creation be with you till the end of your life. And I always imagine that he's talking about your dreams, like, may your dream that you've been having be able to flourish. And I think here is actually a good one right here: may your trials end in full bloom. And I think that honestly, like, for me, I am one of those people that I believe that when you're going through something hard in your life, it is a learning moment. I do believe that. And the only thing is that if you're willing to allow yourself to understand that this is a teaching moment in your life. This phrase right here, actually just kind of this next little bit, is to me some of the most important parts in the entire lyrics of the song.
시작은 미약할 전전 끝은 창대한 그래 시발 죽지 못해서 살아 하고 싶은 게 없단 건 말이야 무엇보다 외로운데 주변에선 하나같이 정신 차려 난 말뿐이네 화풀이해 상대는 뭐 나뿐인데 뭘 화풀이해 매일 아침에 눈 뜨는 게 숨쉬.
I just love that. Again, this is what I think he does so well. He can really make you understand that, like, hey, I'm going through something and this is how it feels, and it's so easy to understand where he's coming from. That's what I think is so good, especially from the song So Far Away.
하고 싶은 게 없다는 게 진짜 뭐 같은데 흔한 꿈조차 없다는 게 한심한 거 알아 다른 게 하람대로만 하면 된다면 대학 가면 다 괜찮아 그런 말들은 믿은 내가 병신이지 나 죽지 못해 살아 술이나 좀 줘봐 오늘은 취하고 싶으니 제발 말리지 마 뭐든 좋아 백수 새끼가 술 마시는 건 사치지만 취하지도 않은 버틸 수가 없어 모두가 달리는데 왜 나만 여기 있어 모두가 달리는데 왜 나만 여기 있어 모두가 달리는데 왜 나만 여기 있어
So far away 나에게도 꿈이 있다면 날아가는 꿈이 있다면 Don't fly away 나에게도 꿈이 있다면 날아가는 꿈이 있다면
그대의 창조와 삶의 끝을 함께하길 Dream 그대의 자리가 어딜지라도 관대하리 Dream 결국 실현의 끝에 만개하리 Dream 시작은 미약할 미약할지 언젠 끝은 창대한 그래 시발 죽지 못해서 살아 하고 싶은 게 없단 건 말이야 무엇보다 외로운데 주변에선 하나같이 정신 차려 란 말뿐이네 화풀이해 상대는 뭐 나뿐인데 뭘 화풀이해 매일 아침에 눈 뜨는 게 숨 쉬는 게 친구와 가족조차 멀어져만 가네 시간이 흐르면 흐를수록 더 조급하네 나 혼자인 기분 나 혼자인 지금 모든 게 사라졌음에 신기루처럼 사라졌음에 이젠 빌어먹을 나조차도 사라졌음에 이렇게 세상에 나 버려지네 그 순간 하늘과 멀어지네 떨어지네
So far away 나에게도 꿈이 있다면 날아가는 꿈이 있다면 Don't far away 나에게도 꿈이 있다면 날아가는 꿈이 있다면
그대의 창조와 삶의 끝을 함께하길 Dream 그대의 자리가 어딜지라도 반대하리 Dream 결국 실현의 끝에 만개하리 Dream 시작은 미약할지 언젠 끝은 창대하리
So far away 나에게도 꿈이 있다면 날아가는 꿈이 있다면 Don't far away 나에게도 꿈이 있다면 날아가는 꿈이 있다면
그대의 창조와 삶의 끝을 함께하길 Dream 그대의 자리가 어딜지라도 반대하리 Dream 결국 실현의 끝에 만개하리 Dream 시작은 미약할지 언젠 끝은 창대하리 그대의 창조와 삶의 끝을 함께하리 그대의 자리가 어딜지라도 반대하리 결국 실현의 끝에 만개하리 시작은 미약할지 언젠 끝은 창대하리 끝에 함께하길 Dream 그대의 자리가 어딜지라도 관대하리 Dream 결국 실현의 끝에 만개하리 Dream 시작은 미약할지 언젠 끝은 창대하리.
I think the thing that's really cool about this next song, Interlude Shadow, the thing that I really like is that this might be one of the most relatable pieces that we have, because for me personally, I think that the craziest thing about this is the fact that, to me, it's talking about how he wants to be able to be considered the best of all time. He wants that success and everything that comes with it. But he's also afraid of failure, and I think also too is being afraid of the journey and what it takes to get there. And I think that this is another thing that personally I can relate to. I feel like that it's so hard that just like if one day you wake up, and I know this sounds weird, it does, and But there's that feeling of just when you are at the top, when you're at the summit, and you realize that now you have to be way more careful. I mean, I think it's fair to say that from what we've seen, what's been going on with Yoongi, with everything that's been going on with his current situation, we know that when you're up on top, and it's fair to say that when you're talking about BTS, the largest group in K-pop, the largest group out of Korea, like, you're going to have this target, and everybody wants to take you down. And so knowing that that's what you're going to have to deal with, knowing that fear, knowing that that is like going to be your reality, you have no escape. It's something that I think maybe was written preconceived, knowingly that this is going to be his life, even if that's the goals that he wanted.
I wanna be rapped, I wanna be the top, I wanna be the rockstar, I want it on mine. I wanna be rich, I wanna be the king, I wanna go win. I wanna be rapped, I wanna be the top, I wanna be a rockstar, I want it on mine. I wanna be rich, I wanna be the king, I wanna be me, I wanna be king. Oh boy, let me see, I got a big dream, yeah. 매일 설레지 내가 어디까지 갈지, 정신없이 달리다 보니 어느새 여기까지 왔지. Yeah, 발 밑에 그림자, 고개 숙여 보니 더 커지잖아. 도망쳐봤잖아, 따라오는 저 빛과 비례하는 내 그림자. 두려워, 누구나 하는 게 난 무섭지. 아무도 말 안 해줬잖아, 여기가 얼마나 외로운지 말여. 나의 도약은 추락이 될 수 있단 걸 이제 알겠어. 때론 도망이 자선이란 걸. 사람들은 뭐 말하지, 저 빗속은 찬란한 내. 근데 내 그림자 되는 더 커져 나를 삼킨 괴물이 돼. 저 위로 또 위로만 가다 보니 여긴 오지도 더 위로만 가는 신혼. 무사히 위로 높게 날고 있는 순간 저 내려지는 빛에 더 커진 그림자. Please don't let me shine, don't let me down, don't let me fly. 이제는 두려워. 가장 밑바닥에 나를 마주하는 순간 공교롭게도 여긴 창문이잖아. Please don't let me shine, don't let me down, don't let me fly. 이제는 무서워. Don't let me shine. I wanna be the top, I wanna be a rockstar, I want it all mine. I wanna be rich, I wanna be the king, I wanna go win. I wanna be rapped, I wanna be the top, I wanna be a rockstar, I want it all mine. I wanna be rich, I wanna be the king, I wanna be me, I wanna be. 그래 나는 너고 너는 나야 이제 알겠니. 그래 너는 나고 나는 너야 이제 알겠지. 우리의 몸을 걷고 내는 별을 즐겼지. 너는 절대 나를 떼어낼 수 없어 알겠지. 떼어낼 수 없어 네가 뭐를 하든지. 인정하는 게 더 편안하겠지. 성공 혹은 실패 어디 있던지. 게임을 칠 수 없어 어디 가든지. 나는 너고 너는 나야 알겠니. 너는 나고 나는 너야 알겠니. 우린 한 몸을 걸고 부딪히겠지. 우린 너고 우린 나야 알겠니.
With Google Play Points, play a...
And last but not least, obviously, I don't want to get too much into this, but this is the part of the video where we talk about a little more sensitive subjects. So if you can't handle this, make sure you just get past this song. Anyway, next is the last, and for me, this is probably the thing that truly sets him apart, is that he is not afraid to talk about, one, his mental health, and two, that he has had a lot of struggles. And we're talking about, there has been times where he is considered unaliving himself, and the fact that he's willing to share that and discuss that in a song, I think is brave, especially when you have that target on your back. And I think for me personally, that is why I think it is just one of the most impressive songs that he has. This is an incredible song. This might actually be my favorite thing that he's ever done because he's unafraid to talk about this.
잘 나가는 아이돌 래퍼 그 이면에 나 약한 자신이 서있어 조금 위험해 우울증 강박대대로 다시금 도주 Hell no 어쩌면 그게 내 모습일지도 몰라 damn 현실의 괴리감 이상가의 갈등 아픈 머리가 땡기피증이 생겨버린 게 18살쯤 그래 그때쯤 내 정신은 점점 모여대 가끔씩 나도 내가 무서워 자기 혐오와 다시 놀러 와버린 우울증 덕분에 이미 민연기는 죽었어 죽은 남자가 난가 비교하는 게 나의 일상이 돼버린 지 오래 정신과 처음 간다 부모님이 연락 같이 상담을 받았지 부모님만 날 잘 모르 내 자신도 날 잘 모르 그렇다면 누가 알까 친구 아님 너 그 누구도 날 잘 몰라 의사 선생님이 내게 물었어 주저없이 나는 말했어 그런 적 있다고 버릇처럼 하는 말 I don't give a shit, I don't give a fuck 그딴 말들 전부 다날 간날 숨기려 하는 말 지우고픈 그때 그래 기억조차 나지 않는 너는 공연하는 날 사람들이 무서워 화장실에 숨어버린 나를 마주하던 나 그때 난 성공이다 보상할 줄 알았지 근데 말해 시간이 지날수록 괴물이 된 기분이야 처음 아파가 나의 성공이란 괴물은 더큰 부러워 내 무기였던 욕심이 때려 날 집어삼키고 망치며 때려 목줄을 걸어 어떤 이들은 내 입을 틀어막으면서 나가를 삼키라 해 I don't want it 그들은 내가 이 동산에서 나가길 원하는 shit 알겠으니까 제발 그만해 이 모든 일들의 근원은 나니까 나 스스로 그만둘게 내 불행이 니들의 행복이라면 기꺼이 불행해줄게 증오의 대상이 나름 기어틴에 올라서줄게 상상만 하던 것이 현실이 돼 어느 조금이 내 눈앞에 꼴랑 두 명 앞에 공연하던 족밥 이젠 또 교덤이 내 코앞에 한번 사는 듯 누구보다 화끈하게 대좀 사는 건 아무나 해 My fam, my homie, my fam 걱정 말게 나 이제 정말 괜찮아 내 본질은 부정했던 게 숫자라 내 주선 아이돌 부정은 나다 수차례 정신을 파고들던 무대 방황의 끝 정답은 없어 내 팔아먹었다고 생각했던 자존심이 이제 나의 자긍심 내 팬들아 떳떳이 고개 들게 누가 나만큼은 세이코에서 롤렉스 악시에서 태조내 서치타번에 끄떡거리는 수만 명들의 고개 쇼미더머니 못한 게 아니라 안 한 거라고 shit 우리 팔아먹던 너는 안 한 게 아니라 못한 거라고 shit 내 창작에 뿌리는 한 세상 다 맞선만 똥만까지 다 빠진 화장실 바닥에서 잠을 정하는 그땐 이제 내게 추억이 돼 그날 알바지 났던 사고 덕분에 시발 박살이 났던 어깨 잡고 했던 내 비는 내가 누구 앞에서 고생한 척들을 해 쉐이코에서 롤렉스 악시에서 태조내 서치타번에 끄떡거리는 수만 명들의 고개 아니 나은 나 똑똑히 나를 봐 우리 팔아먹던 너는 안 한 게 아니라 못한 거라고
I think for me, in closing, the most important thing that we have to understand about someone like Yoongi, Suga, Auguste, whatever you call him, the most important thing to understand is that he is flawed. And at the best part of that is that he's willing to share his flaws, his deepest problems, his deepest secrets, the deepest of lyrics, and the most real and gritty way possible. And I think for me personally, that's what's the most important part, is that no matter what, you know that you are getting the real version of him. He does not ever make sure that he's bringing something that he doesn't believe in or that he doesn't feel. The craziest thing about all this is the fact that there is somebody who is as big, as popular, as someone like Suga or someone inside of BTS, willing to give you a look into his mind, willing to let you look into his problems, let you see that he is also mentally unwell, or that he's the happiest of people. He does not ever skimp on being the real and grittiest idol that I have ever seen.